It was a bright, cold day, and my distant education had just ended. I turned off my computer and I was rejoiced. Finally, I had some peace time, all for myself, up until my brother would come home from school and my parents would come home from work. But that still didn't change the fact that even though I wasn't talking to my teachers anymore, they weren't yelling at me anymore, I was still shaking profusely. My hands were cold and my heart was beating like there was no tomorrow. You see, at this same cold and cloudy day, we just took a physics exam. And I don't know why, I was always pretty good at physics. I was failing during the second wave of COVID, which was around the winter of 2020. I was failing physics profusely, and I was getting really bad grades from it. And so I didn't try to pay enough attention to it. So I just grabbed my tablet, I plugged in my headphones, and I started to watch YouTube to, to escape the reality that I was hopelessly living in. And so I switched through so many YouTube videos, like Minecraft gameplays, random anime clips. And then after like 2 hours, I got the sinister, the the terrifying notification. I just received another D from the exam. The same exam which I was studying for, like there was no tomorrow yesterday. I was reading the notes so meticulously and tremendously that I literally thought my eyes were gonna pop out. And yet, I got disappointed once again. And of course, my first ever emotion after I saw that message was anger, obviously. But that was followed with a huge sense of sadness. But after that came the most unexpected feeling that you could ever guess. Like, try to guess it. It was relief. The feeling that I wouldn't have to wait in this terrifying state no longer, and that I already knew the end result. And of course, the same script followed. My parents came home from school, they confronted me about the bad grade, and the situation was kind of awkward at our house afterwards. Like, yeah, sure, we even said good night and we exchanged a few sentences together, but it was really hard to talk about life when you always give them a big disappointment like this, which was happening like once per week. And so, yeah, just try to approach them whilst they are, disappointed in you because you just failed another important exam that they trusted you that you would study for it. Yeah, just try to live with that feeling of shame the entire winter when there's, it is snowing, it is cold outside, it is cloudy every single day, and you also have no idea of what is happening in the outside world, and yet you constantly see negative emotions on social media, in regular media like the TV. Yeah, and you're just constantly stressed. And you know what I already did? And you did it also when you were stressed and you wanted to escape the shitty reality. You opened YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, or you went to play another competitive match in CSGO, or you started another single player world in Minecraft, hoping to finally get a new world record in your speedrun. And subconsciously, I knew that these habits weren't good for me. I needed to confront my reality, and the first step that I needed to take was to quit playing video games. That was my main goal ever since I was like 12 years old. I just wanted to finally live life, and didn't want to just simulate it in front of me. I didn't want to have this mental masturbation anymore of me basically pleasing myself with the reality that I didn't have. It was like I was playing with my imagination, but it was right there in front of me. And so I tried all the different strategies. I tried to, keep a streak of how long I didn't play a video game. I made it past the first week, but eventually I did relapse because it was just a negative feedback loop. Apart from video games, I had no real delayed gratification, which I would get from real life. I didn't have something going for me. Like, for example, my fitness journey. I didn't had, for example, this YouTube channel on which I could focus my energy on. Yeah. But then one day, a seed was implanted in my head that would eventually sprout and form me into the man that I am today, that would put me on the right path. This all happened in the same wave of COVID, which was during winter of 2020. I don't exactly know when this happened, but it was somewhere around this time. You see, my mom was scrolling on Instagram Reels, and there was this guy who was talking about mental health. And I was just changing to my pajamas because I was about to go to sleep. It was like 10 p.m. But as I was passing near our couch in our living room where she was sitting, I could just hear this guy talking about how important mental health is and how you need to take care of it. That it is way more important than your physical health, that you should 100% put all of your energy into it. And so, I thought to myself, well, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, I should really remember this in the future. And so, I lived like this for 2 more years until summer of 2023, when I got the biggest wake up call of my life and I snapped back onto self improvement and I started to become the best version of myself. And guess what? Guess what was waiting for me right there on the start line of my self improvement journey? That's right. The first step that I needed all along was to fix my mental health. And this time, I truly knew how to do it. I was no longer lost. And eventually, as I improved it over time through really healthy practices like meditation, gratitude, journaling, visualizations, for example, it all came together. And now I have such a powerful mental health that the last time I touched Minecraft, which was the video game that I wanted to quit, not necessarily because I despised it, but because it was the most addictive to me and it gave me the most sense of pleasure. I hadn't touched Minecraft since like, I don't know, June of 2023. Even before I truly went, like over the rails with my self improvement journey. Even before I started to wake up at 5 a.m. Even before I went all out on my fitness journey. What I needed was to improve my mental health all along, and all the delayed gratification started compounding. And now I'm at such a level that whenever I pick a new goal, like I want to read a book, I want to go out for a jog, I want to speak to that beautiful girl over there, I just do it because I believe in myself. And that's the best feeling that you can have on self improvement. Let's look at it from a logical standpoint. Like, just really think about it for a second. If you had a shitty mental health, like you lived in the most depressing area in the world, where there's no sunlight, there is constant snow, you are constantly inside, you play video games all day long, you watch anime for the rest of the day if you don't play video games, if you lived in that area, would life would be pleasing to you? Would you want to do anything? Would you like to take challenges? Would you like to step out of your comfort zone and reach your limits of your productivity? Would you want to do that? Of course you wouldn't. So then tell me, whenever you try to quit an addiction like it is your social media addiction, you're addicted to scrolling on TikTok or on Instagram Reels, for example, or if you try to quit playing League of Legends, but it just constantly sucks you inwards and you end up right back at the beginning of the negative feedback loop. Why do you try to keep streaks? Why do you try to change the habit? The habit won't change. You cannot delete the video game like tomorrow it just won't exist anymore. But what you can change is your mental health. Why don't you try to improve your attention span? Why don't you finally try to get rid of those negative thoughts and instead get positive thoughts into your head through progress in real life? And why aren't you focusing on getting rid of depression from your life? Why aren't you focusing on getting more confident so that you don't fear the end results of anything that you do? Think about it. If I stab the knife inside of you, and I don't mean like it is sticking out, no, I mean the entire thing would be in your body. You would want to take that knife out, right? To start the healing process, and so that your inner body has time to actually heal. Well, you cannot really heal from that, but you get what I'm saying. When you try to get rid of your bad habit by keeping streaks and stuff like this, that's like putting a bandage over that wound. You are not fixing anything. That knife is still inside of you, and that's exactly what you're doing. There was a really negative experience that happened to you when you were younger, and that really left a huge wound on you. It could be a traumatic experience. It's like, for example, your mother yelling at you when you were like, I don't know, 6 years old because you failed an exam in your school and she called you useless and other stuff like that. You still have that knife inside of you. And so you need to recognize what that problem is. You need to recognize that you have the knife inside of you and you need to take it out so that you can actually start the healing process. The best good habit that you can start with to finally acknowledge this wound, this negative experience that happened to you years ago, is to do journaling. It is basically when you grab a notebook and a pen and you write your daily thoughts into it. And for example, the knowledge that you learn on a daily basis. Or it can be served as, for example, your reflection of yourself. Basically, you find your hot triggers. Like, for example, when someone mentions the word exam and suddenly your heart it starts pumping because you're stressed, because subconsciously that word has a really negative impact on you. Then you can journal about it and ask yourself, what is causing this? What is causing me to have this reaction to this word? And then you can slowly reflect on your past and you constantly dig and dig and dig. You constantly ask what, the what question over and over and over again until you arrive at that solution. Until you actually find that knife and finally know what is the traumatic experience that is causing you to have this reaction. So you need to acknowledge the knife first, and then you can start the healing process. And when you heal your mental health, bro, you are set for the rest of your life. You will literally become like a human 2.0. It will help you tremendously with your productivity and your mindfulness so that you'll be able to focus like a real human being. You'll become so mindful that you will literally just smile whilst having no thoughts in your head because of the progress that you will be able to do. And best of all, when you're mindful and you're actually grateful for the outside world, you're grateful for the mistakes that come your path, and you're grateful for the spring leaves that grow on the trees, for example, and you're actually grateful for the pollen, even though it is making you, cough, you're still grateful for it because it serves a deeper purpose. You can literally get to that level of gratefulness by just improving your mindfulness. And so, the way that you improve your mindfulness after you've acknowledged this wound is by doing meditation and gratitude. Meditation, in simple words, is basically focusing on one specific activity or just one thing in general. You basically sit down, you close your eyes, and you listen to the birds singing outside. You listen on your body. For example, you focus on your breath, and you do this for an extensive period of time. And what this does, it fixes your attention span so that you can become way more mindful than you're right now. You'll be literally so mindful in conversations that you'll pay 100% focus on the people that you're talking to. And the second good habit is gratitude. Basically, every single day, when you wake up or before you go to bed, you write down one sentence of what you're grateful for. Basically, you write, I'm grateful for apples because they are nutritious. I'm grateful for our old family car because even though it is old and rusty, it still gets the job done and it brings me to school. It can be that specific. You basically take something that is making your life easier. And even though your emotions right now are mixed on it. Like, for example, your brother made you mad, but you're still grateful for him because he still loves you no matter what, and he will do anything for you. Then you can be grateful for that. And when you acknowledge this, especially in the morning, then you'll basically just smile and have a good mood for the rest of the day. And that's a wonderful experience. And over time, you start to do this subconsciously. And the last good habit that isn't really about mindfulness, but kind of is, but it is mostly about your productivity. And this will especially help you in your early stages of self improvement. It is to do cold showers. Every single day when you wake up, you hop into your shower and you do the most iciest, the most chillest experience. You set the temperature to the coldest that you can get it to, and you stay in there for a couple of seconds at most. I used to do it for 2 minutes, but now I don't do it anymore because cold showers, they improve your dopamine, your motivation hormone, by 250%, meaning that cold showers make you pumped up for the rest of the day. They will make you into a productive freak. And eventually, as you slowly become the better and better version of yourself, and your hard work starts paying off, you finally see the gains in the gym. You finally earn your first dollar online. You finally get that one girl who is really interested in you for some reason. After that, you won't need it anymore. Basically, it will improve your discipline so that you do the hard work even when you don't feel like it. And after the hard work is turned into motivation because you actually see a reason to continue in it. You actually see the benefits it can provide you if you just shut up and do the work. Then the discipline will be turned into motivation, and that's when you won't need cold showers anymore. Okay? So please consider it. And keep in mind that these good habits are skills. You cannot just do like 8 minutes of meditation every single day. You need to start small. You need to basically just take one mindful breath today and then slowly scale it up to like 8 minutes by the end of like 6 months from now, I would say. Okay? And if you want to join a clan full of like minded men who share the same values as you, who are valuing their mental health and taking care of each other like a true brotherhood, then you can join our Discord clan in the description and become a part of the family. We will take good care of you because you have way more potential than you think you have. You'll become a powerful asset to us. Because if you're watching this video this long in, then I know that you're destined for success. So please make the path easier for yourself and join us so that we don't left you behind. Okay? But other than that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, And remember, no one is better at being you